Good afternoon and welcome to TYROLIT Tool School, live from Schwarz, live from tropical Tyrol. I hope you're all doing well. Today we have a full agenda. What do I mean by a full agenda? We have a lot of new products where I want to do a small introduction about. And the first thing that I would like to introduce to you is the CERABOND X cutting disc for cast iron. This is a disc that has been newly developed, a specialty for cast iron, in the sizes of 178 and 230, so that would be 7 and 9 inch millimeters to 178 and 230 available. This is brand new. What does that disc do now? This disc is actually gonna give you a very smooth and a very fast cutting process on cast iron. It is because of the ceramic grain used in that disc is going to give you really a high performance and nonetheless a comfortable performance. So you don't need to pressure a lot. You don't need to push that disc in. It just works smooth on its own. Use the power of the machine, let the disc do its job, and this will go through that very nice. It actually, if I want to go a little bit more technical, it combines the toughness of a zirconium grain with a combination with a soft disc, meaning fast cutting. But because of the ceramic grain and the resin that we designed for that, it really gives you a longevity that is exceptional with a cutting rate which is really nice. So it works smooth, long, and it is fast. So these are benefits that we actually came up with for this specific disc. I will show you this disc in a minute. Now, of course, does this mean this is going to replace it? No, of course not. It's not going to replace anything. It's a new item in the range of cutting disc, of slitting discs that we have now. So what does that mean? It means that we still have the normal CERABOND X 2-in-1, the one for stainless steel, for normal steel. This one is still there. If you go on hardened material, this is still the disc to use. Absolutely. So if you go on Hardox material, this is the disc you would like to choose for. This is the one that actually is designed for that kind of material. So again, to the one that I want to show you now is the one for cast iron. So I have a serious piece of cast iron here. If you see from the top, this is about 50 millimeters, 5 centimeters of diameter. We're gonna go through that and show you how fast and smooth that it actually works. Of course, getting set up, getting everything ready, extraction. When you see me smile like that during a cutting operation, it means it actually went very smooth. It was nice working. Also, when you go on top, it is a wide cut, so no overheating whatsoever. It actually works well. Smooth, fast, aggressive. This is 5 centimeters of material where the disc actually just nicely cuts through. It is a nice thing to work with. Also, if you would check on the disc, on the diameter, it still has exactly the same diameter as when I started with the cutting disc, with the slitting disc. So this is a nice thing to have, designed for cast iron, really designed for that kind of material. So not steel, cast iron, that's the one you actually want to use for that. So this is already a first big thing. Now the second one that we have is, and this unfortunately I cannot show you here. The reason why we can't show you that here, because it is a rail cutting disc. So meaning a disc that cuts rails. A rail cutting disc. So what does that mean is, if we would start doing that here, the sparks, the heat would be so big that it would cause problems in the TV studio. So it's not something that I can demonstrate here, but I can transfer the comments and the experience of this disc. So this is new, CERABOND X for rail cutting. Diameters 300 up to 400 millimeters, absolutely a novelty. The reason why is because this disc is actually very easy cutting. What does that mean? It means that actually just the weight of the machine, it will allow you just go through that rail without any issues, without any problem. It is, and this is the words of one of our guys that is a specialist in this area, as cutting through butter. That's his exact words. He said cutting through butter with this kind of a disc. So that is quite impressive. Also, it is comfortable cutting. It makes it easy. So you have a very, in comparison to regular, and I include our discs in that, our regular cutting discs for rail are rather narrow windows. There's not much, it's narrow window. This one has a very wide operating window, how and what you can do with this disc. It does make it easy to use, comfortable to use, and it is fast and long lasting. Now I need to throw a couple of numbers at you. When I say fast, it takes about 60-70 seconds to get through a part like that. That is fast. For a piece like this, that is pretty fast. Now, also the number of cuts. If you take a regular disc that can do 4 or 5 cuts, if it goes well, this does up to 11 cuts with this wheel. That is a lot. That is a lot of cuts on that kind of material. So this is a disc that is going to change a lot of things when it comes down to rail cutting. The thing that you need for that, of course, is a petrol cutter. That makes sense, of course, but also you need a powerful machine. And I do mean a powerful machine. If you're going to be using this on a 3 kilowatt machine, it's not going to pull it. It really is not going to give you that performance that is optimizing the use of this disc. You want a machine that will pull about 5 kilowatts. If you have that, this is a dream. This disc for that machine absolutely works. It makes an optimal, it will give you an optimal result at the end. Maximal lifetime, a maximum on cuts you can do with that disc, smooth and easy. This is the new stuff we have. The CERABOND X rail cutting disc. Ceramic grain, especially for rail cutting. So this is a new product, a totally new product in our range that we have at our disposal. As I said, I do apologize that I cannot show you it here, but that would be not really smart to do it in the TV studio. So another thing that we have is a new foundry line. We worked through the existing products, we were changing stuff, and we have now a new foundry line of grinding discs. There are 2 that a lot of people are aware that we have those 2 discs that are designed, premium discs for cast iron, for foundry, that are harder and medium hard. Why the difference in hardness is because of the use on machines. When I say I want a hard wheel, that's a wheel that's going to be used on high performance machines, like for instance a high frequency grinder. I know they are disappearing and are being replaced with air powered grinders. So also there, if you work with a powerful tool like that, a harder disc is going to give you benefits in longevity and stock removal rate. So that's the reason why I designed that. Where you should not be using that is, if I show you this, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, is the sand on cast parts. This rough area, this is sand that is baked into the workpiece. So if you want to remove that, you need to go for a softer wheel, not a hard wheel, because it will glaze, it will not work on the sand properly. So also if you have the cast skin on the material, also there you might gonna go to the universal medium wheel that we have. So if you work with a normal regular under grinder, like the ones that I've been using before for cutting, that's where you're going to be using the universal one, the medium one. So of those two, you will have the hard one, you will have the medium one. Both have different areas, different applications where they're going to be performing well. So be aware, we do now have a hard and a medium for the different applications. And there's another one that is going to join in there. There are two discs that are going to join, and one of them is going to be the CERABOND X for cast iron. It's going to be a new one. Excuse me. And there's going to be another one, a CERABOND X Comfort, a softer one for cast steel. Also, those two products are going to be taken up in the range of the new foundry line. More information will be made available in the future, but I just wanted to give you already that information on that, what is coming. So CERABOND X for cast iron and the CERABOND X Comfort softer for cast steel. So there is a difference between those two. So this is also something that is gonna come up in that range of the new foundry line. So I assume that somewhere in the future, near future, we will do a tool school specifically about that new foundry line, where we can go more into detail, show you more about the products about that. So another one. This is something that we have anticipated for certain countries, for certain areas, for many, many years, is a CERABOND X Comfort. Yes, indeed, it is there. The CERABOND X Comfort is the CERABOND X 2-in-1 with a comfort, softer. It is basically as aggressive as the normal regular CERABOND X 2-in-1, but feels softer. So it's more comfortable for the operator to work with. So this is a new thing. This has been something that has been in the make for quite a while, and finally it has arrived. This is something that a lot of people are waiting for. Now it is finally there. So we'll have a Comfort CERABOND X grinding wheel. So this is going to be quite exciting, because it makes the use of this wheel more easy, better for the operator, less vibration. Vibration is an issue, is a topic that is important when you're working with stuff like that. So this is a new thing that has been taken up in our range in order to help with that. Also, working on certain parts, if you have something like that, absolutely will help on that kind of work. So the CERABOND X Comfort I'm going to use on a part here. Let's see if we can put this in there. It's a bit larger. That's a work. Very good. And show you what that thing can do. Wow, that was not too shabby. It feels different, it does. If you're used working with the CERABOND X grinding disc, the normal one, you feel a difference. There is a difference that you will notice, you will experience. Also on the stock removal rate, very nice, takes off material fast. Absolutely no difference there between the CERABOND X and this one. So this is very interesting. Also the wear on the machine, absolutely fine, no problem there. No breaking out of any grain or parts. Absolutely. This is, yeah, thank you Michael. You can see that there's no chipping off, no breaking out of any parts there, which is quite important. Also on the new foundry line, the same thing. We designed that kind of range also to avoid the leaving of parts of resin and grain of the grinding disc, increasing the longevity of the disc and also the stability of the whole thing. So this kind of a cool thing to have. So this works well. It takes off material fast. For a longer time, there is going to be a difference between the CERABOND X, the normal one, the 2-in-1 normal, and the Comfort one. But the Comfort has this it is comfortable, more comfortable to work with. Absolutely, there is a difference. You will feel the difference, absolutely. So those areas, those countries, those people that are interested in a CERABOND X Comfort, a softer one, this is the one to try out. And I know, for instance, in France next week, I'll be in France next week, this is one of the discs that I will have with me for trials over there. So this is an interesting thing to have. Let's get rid of that workpiece now. There we go. And the last product that I want to show you today is our natural CERABOND X fiber disc. Is this one. And it is a new product because it's a totally new quality that we designed. It's an existing shape. We had this for many years, but what we've put on now is really the CERABOND X grain on this natural fiber disc. Now, what does that do? What does that mean? It means that actually it became more aggressive, gives you a bit higher stock removal rate, and also a good lifetime. Now, a lot of people ask me, yeah, but what kind of disc is it then? It basically, natural fiber disc, it does lie a bit in the word itself. Natural fiber, it's made out of a natural fiber, right? Which is this natural fiber is basically a jute bag. It's like coffee bean bags or potato bags that we layer together, put on a resin, and then we glue actually the abrasive on that, press it into a shape, and bake it out in an oven. This is what we get then at the end. So you don't need a backup pad with that. You can use it on a machine like this. Absolutely, not a problem. You can work absolutely very flat with it. You can absolutely get flush on a part. You can also use that in an angle. Like if you want to make something flush in an angle, you can do that as well. Follow a welding seam or remove a welding seam. These are areas where this product absolutely works pretty good. So I'm going to show you a little bit, two applications, one on regular steel, following a welding seam, remove part of the welding seam, and then do a bit silly stuff with that to show you what the disc can actually do, to give you an idea where you can find possibilities for that, because it is kind of interesting, unique disc where there are not too many alternatives to that. So there are applications where this is absolutely a win. Also because it's trimmable. It actually trims itself. It gets smaller while wearing down on that side. So that's a lot of talk. The one thing that I do like for that machine or for that tool is a small adapter. The reason why I want a small adapter for that, where did I? There you go. Is I can put it a little bit higher onto the machine and work absolutely flat with it. There we go. Look at that. This is nicely, this is totally flat. You can work absolutely, you can use the whole width of that abrasive part. It gives you a maximal performance of that disc. So the first thing that I prepared, as I said, a serious welding seam. There we go. What I will do is I will try to follow the welding seam, like grinding against it to clean all that up. And the second thing is I will partially try to remove the welding seam to show you how quick that goes. After that, I have a part of stainless steel where I will be removing a welding seam on top of that to show you how precise you can work with it. And at the end I'll do something a little bit more funny to show you also where that disc can have its use. So there we go. So the last thing that I've done, and also show you the disc, the last thing that I've done is grinding like that, just straight on it, bring it down step by step, literally step by step, with the edge of the disc. The disc will, because of that, it will trim itself a little bit, so getting smaller, allowing or getting new material into action. Also on the disc itself, there's little or no wear on that. You can see a little bit of coloration because of the top size that is being active. Also, on the stainless steel part that we have here. There we go. That you can hear. You see here, actually I just touched the welding itself, nothing more than that, just on the weld itself. That you can see. There we go. That's a bit better. Trying to avoid the reflection. There we go. So you can see it's just that area of the welding seam itself that has been touched, nothing more than that. You can work exactly, it's very precise with that. And then also the last one, or the first one, is follow a weld to make that clean. Follow that, and then the removal of the weld itself actually works very, very nice, very fast, very quick, and it gives a good longevity, good lifetime of the wheel itself. This is something a couple of weeks ago we've done training over here, introduced that as well to a dealer, and they were quite excited about that. So it is a product that is not very known. Excuse me about that. Not very known, the natural fiber disc CERABOND X, but does give a fantastic performance. It's something that people are interested in, and if you try to use it, if you're using it, try to use a small accessory. It brings benefits, it makes it easier to work with, and you can work very nice flush with it. So this is the last thing that I wanted to tell you for today. So thank you very, very much for being there. I wish you all a very nice afternoon, and for those where holidays or vacation is coming up, enjoy it, enjoy your time off, and wishing you all the best. Cheers, take care, bye bye.